Hey, hey, welcome back to I'm Set, the podcast. I'm Danisha Roll.
I'm Natasha Paul, Sports Talk Tasha.
And I am Adriana Smith.
Yeah, so ladies, how was your week?
Oh my God. So my mom, the diva, she turned 68. Yes, I'm putting your name out there and your age, Mom. And so we had to celebrate her the whole weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She wanted the whole celebration. So that's what we did.
Nice.
Well, first I babysit, and I babysat. Let me say it correctly.
You're just getting ready for the future.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I don't have like little nieces, nephews, or cousins, and if I do, I'm not around them. This was like a shocker for me. I'm like,
How old?
I'm like 6.
Oh.
But I really understood motherhood in a whole different way. I wanted to take a 10-minute nap, and she was like, I'm hungry.
They're always hungry.
And you got to get up and cook and feed them. So I'm just like, wow. And then keeping them active, going to the park and running. It was a lot. And then on top of that, the Miami Heat dancers are reuniting this week. So all of the Heat dancers from 1988 all the way until 2021 are coming together for a halftime performance. So that should be interesting. I have not danced since 2019.
Wow.
It's been challenging remembering all of that
steps.
choreography.
Yeah.
My brain is not functioning the way it used to. I was like, wow, I can't believe I used to learn this much.
So which game are you guys going to do that at?
The one on Friday, I don't even remember who they played. I think the Knicks.
That's a good game.
I think
there'll
that's
be
what
a
it's
lot of
called.
people there just because everybody shows up for the Knicks.
But they got us in halftime. You know, people go to the concession stand around that time.
No, they might. I mean, they do, but they might. You know, if the Heat promotes it well, they'll stay and watch. Listen, I'll be honest, because I've been to Heat games multiple times. Obviously, I was there covering them, and what would happen at halftime is like you see like these cute little kids who are like, 3, 4 years old, and they come out with their little cheerleaders, and like, it's cute, but okay, I could go get me a drink or whatever at that. But if you actually have like, something's gonna be like fun and entertaining, no offense to the little kids, but something that's gonna be hype, then people will stay for it, because like think of it as like going to HBCU game. Like if UM is playing FAMU, people stay for halftime because they want to watch the marching 100.
Absolutely.
So this is like a big deal. Don't sell yourself short, girl.
Listen, I'm just like, may I remember every step.
I hope you do.
Listen,
How
I'm
the
not-
knees? How the knees? You gonna
don't know.
drop low? Gotta twerk?
No,
What
we
you gotta
don't.
do?
We don't have to, which is good.
Okay.
So my knees will be stable.
Okay, good.
But I just hope we don't have to do no kicks. I just hope we don't have to do nothing that requires real stretching, But it's a lot of choreography. My brain was like, wow, it's been a while.
Nice.
It's been a while.
Well,
But it should be fun.
It will definitely be fun.
For
and
sure.
It's going to be so many of you out there too that I think people are just going to enjoy it. And if you miss a step, no one will even notice.
But we will. I think we'll feel it. I
course.
just feel like as a dancer, if you mess up, it's like, oh my gosh. And you've been to the game. I've been to the game. You see everything. Mm-hmm. There's going to be the fans be like, it's that girl right over there. She's messing up really bad. Like they catch everything. You cannot hide on that court at all.
I
Well,
think
you gotta
you'll be
get it
fine.
right.
You'll be fine. It's like riding a
I live like
bicycle.
that,
Like
too.
once you get out there, all the hype, all the lights and everything, you're going to be like, yeah, I got this.
We'll get it together. I ain't
Yes,
going to
you
embarrass y'all. Don't worry.
Yes, please don't.
Make us
You
proud,
got
girl.
this.
Make us proud.
Right.
What about you, D?
Yes. So we just got back. We went to Canada. It was amazing. I never had heard of Mont Tremblant, but went with the children, and we had an amazing time. So I would highly recommend 5 stars. If you can, go to Canada, to Quebec. It was amazing. Absolutely. We skied. My 12-year-old, his first time being in snow. So that was an experience for him. And then the kids' first time skiing. So
Nice.
we enjoyed it.
Did you guys was it easy for you to get acclimated? Because my girlfriend went skiing last year and she sent us a video and all I could do was laugh. I'm like, girl, just, go in the hot tub. just forget about the slopes.
So, when you first start out, it's, you're skiing and you stop by pulling your heels out. So they call it pizza. So
I didn't know that,
pizza.
but okay.
Yeah, pizza. But as you get going, you can't stop that way anymore as the slope is steeper. And so you have to kind of turn your body to stop. And so you graduate to the different slopes. So it's like, the different colors, green, blue, like that, black slopes. And so the kids were able to just go right on and do it, like kind of fearless. So it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Now it's an adventure. You can get hot as you go because all of the activity and the movement. And you see a lot of people falling. I fell a few times, but I absolutely would do it again.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's always good to get out your comfort zone and do something you wouldn't normally do.
For sure.
I'm not adventurous. I probably will never go
Really?
skiing. Hell no. Nope. Listen, no.
You look like you're adventurous, though.
I'm adventurous in certain things. Like I am, I have no chill. Let's put it that way. So I'm always like, go, go, go. But when it comes to physical activity like sports and stuff like that, I have 2 left feet. I know I have 2 left feet. I can't run. And in addition to having 2 left feet, I have 2 very small feet. So, doing things that require athletic ability is never going to be me. Never going to be me.
Not sports talk, Tasha.
I mean, I could talk it. I'm a really good spectator. I got, I'm probably going to be in the Hall of Fame of spectators, but no, I'm not athletic at all. I can't run fast, nothing. Watching me is like watching molasses crawl up a hill, for real, for real.
Oh my gosh, who knew?
I would have never thought that.
Never.
You don't give me that.
Oh, girl. It was so bad.
Like, she really gives me that
I
she
don't know
plays
how to ride a
sports.
bike.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the coordination thing.
Yes, it is definitely.
We have to make sure we teach Tasha how to ride a bike.
No.
At some point. We got to do it. Got to. But y'all, this week in sports, a lot went on from Kanye and Adidas partnership, looking like it's going to come back together. We got Kyrie and his new shoe. We got D-Wade and Gabby with the Presidential Award, NAACP.
Yep.
A lot. Where are we going to start?
You can start with Kanye.
Yeah, let's start with Kanye, because I just want to talk about him and get it out.
Kanye. Okay, so he made his remarks, and the whole idea, it appears, was for him to get out of his contracts. And that happened. He was canceled for a small amount of time, and now Adidas wants to,
Well, I don't think it's that they're going to put the partnership back in. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it's that they're buying him out. So maybe I'm wrong about this. But either way, I don't think that relationship is coming back together. But at the end of the day, it looks like Kanye is going to win that battle because they're going to pay him $520 million or something like that.
But they get to use his name on the shoes because the shoes weren't selling.
Just what's remaining.
They're
not gonna make any more Yeezy brand shoes, right? And first of all, I'll let y'all know, I don't mess with Kanye. I have not. Me and Kanye, I severed any feeling I have for him. I nothing him. I don't like him. I don't dislike him. I literally nothing him. I have not listened to a Kanye's album since 2016, I believe it was, I told you. The last album I listened to was the one that has Father Stretch My Hands on it. That was literally the last album I listened to. And then Kanye came out with MAGA this, and I was like, I don't care how brilliant you are, what kind of a genius you are, how you're gonna screw over Adidas. I don't care about none of that. All I care is that you don't represent your people. You don't. You ain't shit. That's just all I have to say about Kanye.
That's interesting. What you thinking?
When you gotta breathe. Oh, Kanye. Well, first of all, we can honestly see how big of a role Kanye did play with Adidas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got to be honest. Adidas is about to lose a lot of money.
Oh, they
did.
With that partnership not being what it is. But it's just so unfortunate, though, that with Kanye being who he is and just his influence, his creativity, and just now just seeing everything unfold, it is a bit sad to watch. You know, I'm just like, Lord, I still have hope for Kanye.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Kanye is nothing to me.
Yeah, I still have hope for him.
I do. I feel like he has a major impact. I feel like he has done some things that have been super suspect and questionable. But at the same time, I feel like he still has the ability to impact so many people.
He does.
He has such influence, and
He does. And that's the problem, is that he has so much influence. And instead of using it for good, he uses it. And, it's not some suspect things. Kanye repeatedly, what he'll do is he will do something that is abjectly horrible to the Black community and then apologize for it and be like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. This is how I meant it. And I'm tired of that. When I see anything about Kanye coming up, I ignore it. I don't even read it. I try not to. But the Shade Room and all these other media venues, they post them all the time. So it's like in your face, no matter what you do. So I gotta stay informed. Still gotta know what's going on in the world around me, but I really try not to pay attention to Kanye. He went like a couple months without being in the news, and I was like, oh, bless my heart. But unfortunately, because when it wasn't him, it was Chrissy Ann and Blueface. I'm like, God help my soul.
But I think I sympathize with Kanye because I can identify his turning point. As you watched the documentary?
yes.
No, I didn't watch it. I told you.
It was really good. And it made me sympathize with him so much, even seeing his relationship with his mother. And I believe that once his mother passed away,
That was it.
Kanye has not been the same since, right? And I think we have to understand that people grieve differently. And when he was trying to get his life right, okay, we saw Kanye trying to be a good servant of the Lord. He tried. But I do believe him being in his world, the Kardashian clan, it didn't help him much. It did not help him much. And I just think we're just seeing a result of a lot of trauma, a lot of things that he really didn't deal with. And now we're just watching him unfold on display. But I sympathize with Kanye. I still have hope for him. I do believe that there's just some things that he has to break through, right? I do believe that it's not too late for him to turn around. But the question is, yes, he has done all of these things. He's said a lot of these negative things with the Black community. But if he was to really sincerely apologize and really turn his life around and be on a straight and narrow path, are we as a community going to forgive him?
But do you think he does a lot just for shock value?
Absolutely.
He just says things that, he wants to get a rise out of people. Mm-hmm. And in many instances, if we look at this whole Adidas thing, he said that he was going to get out of this contract.
Right.
He's going to be canceled. Mm-hmm. He knew that. So he got canceled, and now he's back, and now he's like, basically, you guys forgive me.
Well, I mean, listen, what he did to get out of the Adidas contract really had nothing to do with Black people, because all he had to do was make some anti-Semitic remarks, and that was it. It was done. You're canceled. But my thing with Kanye is you are Black. You are actually Black. There is no denying your skin color, my friend. This is who you are. Why do you choose to constantly misrepresent your community? And that's a problem for me. That's a big problem for me. If Kanye, it's not just an apology, because Kanye has apologized so many times. I'm tired of hearing I'm sorry. Screw that. Your actions will always speak louder than your words. You cannot be hanging out with known racist politicians and podcasters walking through airports. That's not gonna do it for me, because those guys, I forgot his name, the little Spanish boy. Those men that you're hanging out with that talk about the Black community the way they, how do you look at them in the eye and say, I'm Black? Were you talking about me, or is it not me because I'm Black with money? What is it really? So for me and Kanye, it's not just about an apology. It's, first of all, he needs to get help. He actually needs to take the time to get the help that he needs. I know taking medicine, psychiatric medicine, makes you feel a little different because it puts you in a loopy place. I've been around people who are bipolar. I've been around people who are manic depressive. So they've told me the same thing, that they chose not to take their medicine because of how it made them feel. But sadly, this is the way that you're able to get to a point where you can get better. Or if you don't want to take that medicine, you got to have the sense enough to say, okay, I am going to get the therapy, get the psychiatric treatment, get whatever. Just do whatever it takes. But I sincerely believe that Kanye cannot move forward and progress mentally if he doesn't take that medicine. I do believe it.
Okay, so Kanye redeeming himself. Then we have Kyrie, who posted the movie, and now he has the shoe. He's out of his Nike contract and has a whole new shoe line. It's a black-owned line.
Yep.
Kyrie has redeemed himself.
Listen, for me and Kyrie, I think Kyrie is just a knucklehead, like, to be honest. Kyrie, a lot of times, will post stuff on the internet and not do the research. And a lot of us do that. Like, a lot of us have posted stuff and we're like, oh, like, my bad, that's actually not a good thing to post, right? So the thing with Kyrie is that Kyrie forgets that he is Kyrie. Like, you are not, whoever. You're not just some bum on the side of the street. You are not just a regular 9-to-5 employee. You're Kyrie Irving. You're a face of a whole entire organization. People see you on the news all the time, whatever. So Kyrie forgets that, and he just wants to be a regular person. I really do think he just wants to be a regular person, but you're not. So you have to be very cognizant of what you're posting. Now, I don't know enough about that documentary, but what I do know is that when they asked Jeff Bezos and Amazon if they're gonna take it down, they said, hell nah. So I see the disparity there, right? So what I look at is Kyrie actually is very much about his people. He is very much about the Black community. He does so much. Not just for the Black community, he's also very vocal about getting equal treatment for WNBA players.
Yep.
Like, Kyrie is on it. So what Kyrie did was, okay, Nike, you don't want me? Somebody else will, and they surely will.
But I think it needs to be fair across the board. Because we have people who are highly racist, will say different remarks, and they're not canceled, they're not dropped, especially if we're going to talk about the Black community. We've always seen them speak out or not really care for the Black community like that, and they're not canceled. They still have their job, they still have their endorsements.
Right.
But whenever we speak out against a different religion or race or just tweet something, it's automatic cancel culture.
Right.
And now they're forced to apologize. They have to pay all of these fines. They have to go sit in these classes and all of that. But it's not the same energy over here.
Absolutely not.
And that's the
Absolutely
problem,
not.
though.
That's a big problem.
Because if we're going to cancel people because they're speaking about certain things,
then everybody
certain
needs to be at
religions,
the same barometer.
then it needs to be the same energy across the board.
I don't think I'm against the cancel culture.
Me
Like,
too.
it's just ridiculous. I feel like we should be able to have a conversation. We don't always have to agree, but we can have a conversation. And I can state my piece and my opinion, and you state yours, and we respectfully disagree.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I have to cancel you and just, it's gotten ridiculous. And across the board, when we look at it, yeah, Kanye has done some terrible things, said some things that have just, made us all drop our mouths. But at the same time, we do realize that this is someone who he may be really, looking for love, needs some attention, be grieving, going through trauma, all of those things. So why just cancel him? And then with Kyrie, he didn't deserve to have to sit out all those games and pay all that money. And then you look at Jeff Bezos and they're like, look, we're
going to do what we want to do.
And who's canceling Amazon?
Nobody. They can't.
And then you look at, because, Jeff Bezos is the company, he has the money, he can do what he wants to do, whereas Kyrie is a worker and, he shouldn't be able to. Either way.
And you know what's the crazy thing? Look who traded for Kyrie. Mark Cuban, who is a Jewish man. I can't even pronounce Mark Cuban's grandparents' last name. They changed it when they got to Ellis Island. Is it Ellis Island? Mm-hmm. When they got through Ellis Island, they changed it because, nobody could pronounce it. So they just wanted to assimilate to the culture in the United States. But Mark Cuban is Jewish. So obviously, Mark Cuban got over it, and it's fine. And I'm with you, Dee. I think cancel culture is so ridiculous because, like you said, you can choose to disagree with somebody and just not mess with them. Like, okay, I choose to disagree with Kanye and I'm not gonna mess with him. I'm not gonna support your music or whatever it is you do, and that's my choice. Now, if you wanna go put out music, go right ahead because there's people out there who love you.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, we need to do better with the cancel culture because I don't think it's fair and it's not the same for everybody. And I think if we're gonna cancel people, then everybody should be canceled because we don't agree all the
It's so
time.
annoying.
And we won't, and we will never agree.
The three of us don't agree.
No.
Absolutely.
And speaking of agreeing and disagreeing, we're looking at what is going on right now with D Wade and his daughter. Gabrielle Union and D Wade received the presidential award from NAACP, the Image Awards, this week, and there were so many opinions about his daughter, and D Wade has the right. He won the lawsuit against his ex-wife to change her gender on her birth certificate, as well as her name change.
Yep.
And so people have their opinions about it. What do you guys think?
Well, we know people got their opinions. Boosie.
Oh, yes.
Listen, Boosie is not the one to look to.
Boosie
Boosie was
is
letting his little son get
upset.
all sorts of fun times with older women. So I don't want to hear Boosie's opinion on the subject. Please, step out of the conversation because you're sick in your head too.
Okay, so, it's advocacy now. We're taking a stand for people that, don't really have a voice. So now looking at Zaya, she is 14 and has decided that she was Zion, and now Zaya. So a little boy, now officially a little girl as it relates to having the birth certificate change and the name change. And her birth mother, is against this and was fighting not to have this happen.
I'm actually curious how they did that because I thought that both parents had to sign off on the birth certificate, but I guess this is what I thought. I mean, this is just, speaking from Siobhan, her name is Siobhan, right? Or Siobhan's side, that, I know if I wanted anything changed on either of my children's birth certificate, I have to get their father's opinion or agreement on it. So I don't know how that happened, but when you got money,
I was just about to say, now we know exactly how that happened. Like, come on, we know exactly how that happened. Like,
but I mean,
she wasn't going to win at that.
The way I look at it, and I have expressed this to both of you, is that it was going to happen anyway. Zaya was going to grow up and be Zaya and not Zion anyway. She has always been this very feminine person, and that was who she was going to be. So you, as a parent, you have a choice, right? You have a choice to be a supportive parent and say, okay, this is what you're going to do, because your kids are going to do what they want to do, whether or not you want them to. They will go behind your back and do it. So D Wade had the choice of being like, okay, I'm going to be a supportive parent. This is what's going to happen regardless. Or I can be the non-supportive parent, and you're going to go behind my back. We're going to hate each other. It's going to be a really screwed up family dynamic at home, and it's not going to end well for anybody, right? So what I do not agree with, and I don't know that D Wade and Gabrielle Union are doing this, because we don't know Zaya's medical records, right? I don't think that the transition should happen at such a young age. And as far as I know from the medical profession, they do not allow, most doctors won't allow kids that young to get the treatment and the therapy that they need to transition, fully gender transition, right? But allowing Zaya to be Zaya, I'm okay with it, And this is me because I am the mother of a trans child, right? So I knew at a young age that my child was, first of all, I knew she wasn't straight. So I was like, okay, so she's a lesbian. Support my little lesbian child. And then she came to me and she was like, I am not a girl. I'm sorry, I keep saying she, but they. So I'm not a girl. I want to be addressed as they, them. So I was like, okay. I mean, it's got to be some level of respect with your kids. You know, you got to, they're going to grow up, right? And they're going to, like I said, do what they want to do. So I had to show them that I was going to be either okay with this or not okay with this. And I love my child. So I'm going to support them, right? So, you know, as a parent, I get where D. Wade is coming from because I want to be in my child's life. I'm not one of those parents that's like, you're dead to me. No, they're going to be your child regardless of whether you want to accept it or not, right? That's your blood. I literally gave birth to that child, natural everything. So I was going to be there. And I understand where D. Wade and Gabrielle Union is coming from. Zaya's going to be Zaya regardless. She's about to be 15 years old. It is what it is. So either
you accept it
or you
don't, and you have this adversarial relationship where your child doesn't speak to you, doesn't, have a relationship with you. Now, on the flip side of it, now we know from the prophetess over here, we have, for me, growing up in the church, and you want to believe that, you're born a girl or a boy, right? And God doesn't make mistakes. And so, it's one of those things where if you have a child and you want to, in this day and age, you want to support your children, but you also don't want to have a situation where anything goes, right? So you feel like these are feelings. Do I feel this way where at 14, 15, I feel a certain way. Does that mean that at 18 or 21, you're going to feel the same way? So there's that argument.
Right.
And I think that for those people that have grown up, and we all know, and we've talked about this, and some of you guys might know children that you grew up with, and from a young age, you might have said that little boy is a little feminine, right? He walks like a girl, he sounds like a girl, he acts like a girl. And so that little boy just feels that he's they. I'm a girl or a boy, or maybe I'm just a girl. So it's all of these things that, you have to we have to have this dialogue, right? We have to have these conversations because you can staunchly believe one way and someone else can believe another way. And again, we're not going to cancel one another because there is that love, and as a mom, raising children who I want them to be respectful and accepting, but I also, feel like where are the boundaries? Where are the, is this a moral thing? Is this a, I'm still battling. And so I guess in some point I'm asking for, some grace as I learn, because there are the pronouns that you are now having to adjust to.
And that is hard. It's very hard, I'll tell you.
But I definitely think conversations do need to be had, right? Because I think sometimes when children, or you see a little boy that's becoming more feminine, or you see a young girl who wants to be more manly, in some cases, I think we just have to ask questions. Because I also know little boys who were molested by men. And because in that moment, they kind of liked it, what happened, it started to mess with their identity and make them think, well, do I really like boys? And so now they're growing up thinking that they like boys, but what ended up happening was they was exposed to that at a young age. I also have spoken in schools where there was this girl who was, of course, a lesbian, but after talking to her, the reason why she did that was because she was being molested by men, and so she felt like if she was to become a boy, then men wouldn't take advantage of her. Yeah. So I do think sometimes we do need to have conversations of, okay, well, I know you are feeling like this, but where is this coming from? Because we don't do a good job of trying to trace the roots. And because we are living in a culture that's like, oh, accept everything, which is, fine and, not to disrespect anything. But there are some instances where these children are believing that they like certain things because they've been exposed to it. And because we're not asking certain questions, you won't even know the reason why that little boy is feminine like that is because they're being molested.
So speaking on that, I think that is where, for like a trans child, that is where you really have to say, okay, let's really wait to do a transition until you have gotten to a certain level of emotional intelligence in your life to where you actually understand what this is and what it means, which is why I don't think it's okay to give a 14-year-old hormones to become a different gender. I just don't. And this has nothing to do with me trying to be anti-LGBTQ. No, not at all, because I support my child, but I just don't think that at that young age, they really understand all the ramifications of what this means.
And what they go through emotionally. Caitlyn Jenner didn't, when she went through her transition afterwards, she started to kind of feel like,
maybe I don't want to go this far.
Maybe I don't want to go this far. Or that I think she had, don't quote me on this, but I think she kind of had some sort of like regrets about it after the fact, but she done built a brand around it. So at this point,
She's
you
Caitlyn.
know, you just got to live being Caitlyn.
But there are people that have come out that said, you
Yeah.
know, I felt one way and then I went, towards having this transition and then realized this isn't really what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there is that, the change, you change your mind. So it is a very, very slippery slope.
Yeah, because you don't want to
Absolutely.
upset
You
anybody.
took this one.
You know, of course, cancel culture. You don't want to piss anybody off and say the wrong thing. God forbid, your whole life is ended now. But at the end of the day, first of all, cancel culture sucks. Secondly, people are allowed to have their opinions and express it eloquently and intelligently, and not be a jerk for saying it.
Right. And we all deserve to live. Mm-hmm. We all deserve to be treated with respect.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Whether we agree or not, or understand. And the goal is hopefully that everyone is at a place where we want to understand.
Yep. Right.
And we don't want people to have to feel like they have to hide who they are because they are not understood.
Right.
So, yes, there's that. So, this week in sports, we also have the Dolphins player.
Oh, yeah.
Injured as a result of, what is his name?
Byron Taylor?
Byron Taylor. Yes.
Tore his Achilles in 2020. So Byron got his $80 million contract, was doing great in life. I think he was in the NFL for a total of 8 years maybe. And in 2020, he tore his Achilles, and he recently came out on social media and said, whatever the doctors, these team doctors, medicines they're giving you, injections they're giving you, do not just take it, question it, get a second opinion, make sure you know what's going into your body. Which, first of all, Byron, you should 100% know what's going into your body before
Absolutely.
this goes with, you shouldn't just blindly, just listen to somebody. But I get it. You're not a medical professional, so you didn't know any better, and you didn't know to ask the questions.
But I mean, in his defense, we do it all the time.
Yes.
Take medicine without asking?
Medicines, shots. We don't necessarily know what's going into our bodies. Okay, but I digress.
We did take a number of vaccines in our life.
Listen.
Okay, so.
But do they even have a choice, though? Because if you're playing in the game and you get hurt, first of all, the coaches want to get you back out there. So
Right.
do they even have the time
Well,
to
his was
say,
a little
hey,
different.
what's in this shot? What's in this pain shot? Like, what are you shooting me up with? No, the mindset is shoot me up with whatever you have
Get me
so I
back
could
out
get back out there and play. Whatever is going to numb the pain, do what you need to do, and send me on my way. So at the end of the day, they don't have the time to even ask those type of questions, especially while they're in the game. Their mindset is getting back out on that field and winning the game. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay, so he's injured now.
Like
Can't
bad.
run.
He
can't
said
jump.
he can't run, he can't jump. He's going to be disabled for the rest of his life, and he said he would give back all the money to be able to have his physical capabilities about him. Like, the money is nothing to him, which, I mean, makes sense. Most people would rather be able to walk and live a normal life than have, millions of dollars, because we all know money doesn't buy happiness. It just buys things.
But a lot of these athletes, once they leave the sport too, they're not in the best shape afterwards. Like, it's their knees don't work, their back don't hurt. It's like I said their back don't hurt. Their back is hurting. Like, everything is so wrong with them when they age. Like, they're not able to move as swift as they used to because of everything their body sustained. And I mean, being under all of those drugs and medicine, and
that's why Andrew Luck retired. Andrew Luck was like,
y'all y'all not
gonna have me in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
He said, what happened? Did he get like hit and got like a concussion or something? What happened that sent Andrew Luck out the league?
I can't remember, but it was just too
much. Something
much.
happened. I don't think he just was like, okay, I'm out. I believe something did happen.
Oh yeah, he was just getting injured and injured and injured.
But on the flip side of it, we got Aaron Rodgers, who is...
He plays with broken fingers and...
playing and, you know, and then going in the dark room. $60 million contract, up for it. Do you think he's going to play or retire?
He's going to play.
He's going to play $60 million?
He's a narcissist. He's going to play. He is.
Wow.
Yeah. Taking the time away. He's meditating and just trying to sort it out for himself.
They giving him $60 million, right? He's not retiring.
He's not retiring.
$60 million?
He's going to stomp and throw his little tantrum out the Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers is not retiring. $60 million?
No.
Yeah.
Shoot, I wouldn't retire.
$60 million? Suit me up today. What you mean? Come on.
You don't have to know the choreography. Let's just go.
Listen, what's the play?
I don't know the script.
Where do I need to be?
So Aaron Rodgers is all about Aaron Rodgers. And we have seen it time and time again. Aaron Rodgers is the type of quarterback that will call out individually, well, this man didn't do this, and this man didn't do this, and this is why we're losing. It has nothing to do with me throwing 4 interceptions in a game. Absolutely not. So, yes, he is a narcissist, and that's why he will be back in the NFL field next year, because he doesn't want to be a one and done. He doesn't want to be the quarterback that only won 1 ring and that's it. He don't want to be that.
I mean, but honestly, if we're going to be realistic, I can't see him getting another one.
He could if he goes to a situation. No. He could if he gets to a situation like how Matt Stafford was beautifully lined up. Like the Red Sea parted for Matt Stafford when the Rams decided
to LA.
Yeah, that was
Absolutely.
it. So if Aaron Rodgers could somehow weasel his way into the Raiders roster, he gonna get a ring. They have a running back. They have Josh Jacobs. He's a legit running back. They have his favorite wide receiver. They have a bomb-ass tight.
That's what I'm about to say. He's gonna have to
weasel his way.
Listen,
squeeze himself all the way through. Like, I don't know.
Why not? Tom Brady weaseled his way from New England.
I mean, we'll see.
But no. We can't compare the two.
Why? I mean, one is less of a narcissist than the other?
No, but Tom Brady, I think, no, Tom Brady went through a breakup, though. I think Tom Brady wasn't ready to depart from the Patriots. That's how I feel. I don't think he was ready. I think they thought he was washed up at that point. And
they did.
Exactly. So you got to understand he was the rejected. They gave him the divorce paper, like, here you go, we're ready to go on. So it wasn't like he was like, I'm looking for another team.
You know what's really crazy that you say that is that he wanted to go to the 49ers. And he, made that clear. But the 49ers didn't, like you said, they thought he was washed up. So they chose to stick with Jimmy G, pretty with his little suits. And they chose to stick with Jimmy G, and that's how he ended up in Tampa Bay. But you know what Tom did? He was just like, okay, I'm going to recruit all my soldiers.
And that's what he did.
Exactly.
Come on, out of retirement.
He brought them right up out of retirement. They won a ring, and he was a Florida boy. I love Florida Tom Brady. He was lit.
You like Tom and his little
Tom,
Brady brand?
I was like, oh, he in Florida for real.
You like Tom trapping Brady on the bando?
Listen, Tom was living his best life out here. I was like, okay, go ahead, Tom. I said, look, he had a good old time out here. I love Florida Tom Brady.
He was
He was different.
He was
Yeah.
different. He had a little swag, a little sauce. I was like, dang, I thought like, this is who Tom really is.
oh, for sure.
Like Florida, I don't know, something about that Florida water. It brought something out of Tom.
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't have Bill Belichick in it.
That part.
Bill is. I don't know if Bill Belichick is a mean man in real life, but the facade that he puts on is like he's Emperor Palpatine. Like
Real
he's
rigid.
just straight Star Wars, the most evil man on the planet.
Real rigid. Yeah.
And he kind of looks like Emperor Palpatine too. You know, the little guy with the hood.
Wow. So we're gonna see where will Aaron Rodgers end up?
If there
We'll
is
see.
a God, dear God, there is one. He's gonna be right back in Green Bay, miserable.
I can't see him going nowhere else though.
No.
I think he's going to retire with Green Bay. He's going to stay there. That's why I said I don't see him getting another ring.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be his last. Wait, okay. So when's $60 million contract? How many years he got to play?
Ooh, I don't know.
Tasha, you got to know this.
I actually do not know. I'll admit it.
It's not. I know it's not 1 year.
It probably is. It's Aaron Rodgers.
1 year, $60 million.
Why not? They're giving.
Would you give Aaron Rodgers $60 million on 1 year?
I mean, me personally, no. But it's his market value. Because if you think about it,
1 year, $60 million.
Patrick Mahomes is making like 50-something million in 1 year. So why not give Aaron Rodgers $60 million? He's a league MVP.
Yeah, time is gonna tell. We'll see. A lot happened this week in sports.
Yep. I just want y'all to remember before anything else, today I'm wearing my Dame 8s. Put some respect on my name. Because Dame dropped 71 points last night.
He did that.
So shouts out to Dame. I want you to win a ring so bad. I want you to win a ring so bad.
Let's set the record straight.
All right.
Before we go. Do we think that culture is emasculating men, making them more feminine?
I don't think.
Because we didn't get a chance to really talk about this with that cover with Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, you know, looking like the wife with the baby, and the guy, the actor who was on
Yeah,
the cover of Ebony.
Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that just caused a lot of
lot of
uproar and
conversation.
a lot of conversation. Like, okay, especially with the black men, they are being emasculated. They are looking more feminine, and now we have the women looking more masculine. What do y'all think about that? Let's set the record straight before we go.
I think you can't allow something to happen that they didn't want to happen. Like they signed off on, they knew what these pictures were going to look like. And Jonathan Majors, first of all, Jonathan Majors has been the uber bad guy in the Marvel movie. He's every character he's ever played is so ultra masculine, and when he, unveils himself, he is ultra masculine. There's nothing that ever, whenever I look at Jonathan Majors, I'm not thinking, he looks like he's being emasculated. No, I think he's very confident in what he does and how he presents, like everything he owns, and I'm okay with that. And then your boy, the other one, oh my God.
A$AP?
A$AP. I mean, listen, A$AP is the house husband.
I was just gonna say, that's what he looked like on the cover. Oh my gosh! Tasha! Oh my goodness! No,
I disagree.
You don't think he looked like a house husband?
Come on.
D.
A house husband? Oh my goodness.
D. Look how he was holding that baby in that cover. I was like,
we
my
young.
girl is a billionaire. I don't got to rap. I don't got nothing.
Nothing.
He held that baby, kissed that baby like I am good in the back. Like
He's a house
you didn't
husband.
see him at a Super Bowl.
Listen, okay, so I'm
I said, come on, A$AP.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I saw the cover and it was something about it that was off to me. Okay, I did feel like it almost gave that Rihanna was leading him.
Right. That's exactly what it gave.
It felt like that. Now, did I? It was off. I just felt like something about it was off.
Like, here, baby, you carry the baby. Well, I'm that.
I'm
making
the no, but he didn't look like a house husband
Okay.
husband on that cover.
Now, I will say that oftentimes when you go to shoot a cover, you don't know what it's going to look like, right? Do I see these men? And it's not what I'm used to. I'm used to a manly man. I prefer a manly man. It's personal preference. Thank you, Lord, for Samari. So it is different, right? I do feel like it's a change from seeing men being, masculine. Now there's a double-edged sword because you do want guys to be, there was this toxic masculinity, right? There was a day and age where men didn't express how they felt and you didn't see emotion. And there was, this, be a man, don't cry, don't express who you are and how you feel. And now we're in a day and age where it's changing. So more feminine, yes. I ASAP. I was shocked to see that. I won't, deny that. Jonathan Majors, some of those pictures to me very much gave, I don't know, something different than what I'm used to seeing.
I was gonna say,
it looked very
to
me, I saw the photo shoot and I was like, oh, this is very like Valentine's Day, like, come get me, baby. I was like, okay, Jonathan, I'll be right there.
But because he's so buff.
Yes, exactly.
No. But I'm saying
but
because
what
he
are you
was so buff,
attracting?
it looked very like.
Oh no!
I don't know. I'm trying to emulate what it was
for real.
looking.
Like to me, it gave me like, okay, I'm here for you. Like I'm your Valentine's Day candy, and I was like, yes, you are.
Eat them up.
It gave me Atlanta.
Atlanta? Okay.
No shade to Atlanta though. Oh Jesus, no shade to Atlanta. I'm just saying.
So what does that mean? For those that might not understand, Atlanta is a lot of things.
It's a lot of things. It just gave me like how the men could be like they look.
You just not sure what you're gonna get or who he might like.
We just not sure.
Okay.
That's it. Now,
But, like I said, every role that Jonathan Majors plays in all his movies, he is like Ultraman, like. Even this upcoming role in Creed 3, which, by the way, if y'all have not made plans to go see Creed 3, you bet to do it. That movie got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes by them critics. The critics never give that high.
Brutal.
Right.
So you better support Michael B. Jordan, black director, black writer. He's just taking the whatever from Rocky and running full speed. Go ahead. But going back to Jonathan Majors, he is ultra masculine in every single role. So him being in one photo shoot a little like, just having a good time.
a little.
I mean, like I said, it gave me a different vibe. Like everybody's looking at it like, oh, he looks so feminine. I'm like, nah, he just looks like candy.
I think it's because the shorts was just a little like.
He had on biker dukes.
And then because like I
You
said,
ever been to a male strip club?
Biker dukes.
Oh, okay. Well, I have.
Speedos.
it was. I guess it's like.
And when you go,
City.
when you go to a male strip club, they like wear little things, and they never look feminine to me. I'm like, oh shit, take more off.
Take it all off. Okay, speaking of Creed and Michael B. Jordan, this week, Michael B. Jordan, he came across someone that was interviewing him who he recognized from high school. And there was some banter that this young woman referred to him as corny when he was in high school. Mm-hmm. So she denied it. As they were doing the interview, he was coming down the carpet, and it was almost like a sort of media row.
Yep.
And another woman came out and said, I did call him that. It was actually me that went to high school with
Dominique
him.
the
the Diva. And so she's like, he was corny. But her reason for calling him corny was because he dated white women.
And she did say that him dating Lori Harvey made y'all forget that he'll listen.
It's the fact that his memory is top tier. Because I was like, now Michael B. Jordan, we got to learn how to forgive. Because
he held that thing.
But listen, when you're in high school and you have people who are bullying you and calling you stuff like corny, like, it sucks.
Do you think that's why you don't like black women?
Well, listen, they said that he had his headshots. He used to bring his headshots to school, and his name was Michael Jordan. He was very much not like Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah, he's probably not like buff like how he is now.
he probably grew into himself. And I think everybody has that phase, or, you know, they probably went through a time where there were people who
High
pretty
school
much
is
called them
awful.
like, oh, you're not that cute or whatever, and you grew into yourself, and now they're like, wow, like you grew into yourself, you know?
Listen.
But for him to be holding that from high school, I believe that he don't let nothing go.
No.
High school?
Listen, is he a Capricorn? Because I'm gonna tell you, I remember everything from high school. I remember everybody who was like, oh, because I was 2 years younger than everybody else in high school, so nobody was giving me any time of day. I don't remember this well. I was out one night, and this guy I went to high school with that has the biggest crush on him. He came by, he was like, Tasha? I was like, yeah, whatever. And he came back and tried to get my number. I was like, no. Get away.
Oh, you nailed it too.
Okay, so that's how y'all missed out blessing though. Okay, because you got no, for real. Because yes, just because somebody rejected you in high school or thought you was corny in high school, y'all grown now. It shouldn't be like, oh, like.
No. So you think Michael B. Jordan should have just gave her a pass, let it slide, not set
How old is he?
34, maybe. 33, 34.
But that was his chance to say, like, listen.
Well,
back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot and you all on me.
But back then a lot of people ain't want him.
Well,
we seen young Michael B. Jordan. Listen, I'm not. They're not
bring a picture of young Tasha.
No, he's like, come on, like, no, we gotta be honest with ourselves. Like, everybody, like, he was not what he is right now.
No,
like,
you're not.
Let's be honest. He probably was a bit corny in school.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no shade to him at all, because yes, he was considered the sexiest man alive and all of this stuff. Like, women love him. But we're not gonna act like we were not in school with boys that when we saw them, they were a bit corny, but they grew up and they were fine. And we acknowledge, like, wow, like, God really did a work on you.
Right.
Like, hey man, we bless him for you. Like,
those milk
yes,
commercials in
because
high
we
school?
all had it. Like, I grew into myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. Like, we can't. No, I just think he should have kept it professional, or did a quick kiki. But he was like, oh, remember you called me corny?
Do we think that Michael B. Jordan only dates white women? Like, do you think Lori Harvey was his little PR stunt? Like, people try to say, like, he does not date black women?
But Lori,
if he felt like everybody thought he was corny in Newark, he grew up probably around all majority black school.
Mm-hmm, yep.
And that's one of those trauma things
that's
we
a
talked
trauma
about.
thing. This is why I said he needed to be healed.
Don't want to date black women because all the black girls thought I was corny when I was growing up.
I've heard so many guys say that too. I've heard so many black men say that, they used to pick on me back in the day and this is why I don't date black women. I'm like,
Trauma response.
Exactly. So, I mean, now we understand probably why he is like, I don't care, because those probably were the ones who accepted him, who loved his cornrows.
But I think that he should give other black women some grace because
so let's see.
He grew into his own.
Maybe he will date another black woman. I mean, listen, I don't know his dating history. I really don't.
Yeah.
So I can't say he
speculation.
only dated one black woman, Lori Harvey. I find that hard to believe. But we'll see. Like, we'll see what happens. He's at the prime of his life. If I'm him, I'm not dating anybody. I'm just having, who's coming through tonight?
Oh, boy.
Nah, he need a wife.
I'm a toxic. If I'm a man, I'm a toxic man.
No, he needs to be settled. I do believe that having a good woman could take you a lot further. So yeah, he's doing good, but with the right woman, I think he would catapult even more.
How much more does he have to do?
You'll be surprised. Listen, we haven't seen his best work yet.
Okay.
It's true. Well, y'all, we never want to end, but we got to get on up out of here. It's been amazing. I'm Danisha.
I'm Natasha.
I'm Adriana.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you same place on I'm Set, the podcast.